Hello and welcome for the first time in 2025 to Criswell Automotive Field here in Gaithersburg, Maryland. I'm David Lewis, joined alongside Jake Tseronis, and we are just loving this June sunshine here to kick off this Cal Ripken Collegiate Summer League season. And we were both in Waldorf, Maryland last night for the season opener for the Gaithersburg Giants. They unfortunately fell to the Senators 9-5. And Jake, what were some of your takeaways from that game? I know it got a bit tough to watch in the late stages.
Yeah, David, it was looking really good for the Giants, especially on the mound. Through 6 innings, they had 2 pitchers. Both of them combined for 6 hits, 8 Ks, and 2 walks. And in the 7th and 8th inning, the Giants went through 4 pitchers, allowing 6 walks, 5 hits, and 2 Ks, allowing a end of the game blowout in the 8th inning. However, the Thunderbolts are coming off a similar game now, had the lead halfway through the game, and just allowed the Aces to get back into it before they won in extra innings. So both teams coming off of an unfortunate loss, looking to bounce back quickly at the start of this season.
Yeah, as you mentioned, lots of comebacks last night across the Cal Ripken League. Big Trains came up short. They lost 12-11 to the DC Grays at home in Bethesda. And then, as you mentioned, the Giants falling short 9-5 to the Senators after they had the lead 5-3 heading into the last 3 innings. Gray Willis will start on the mound for the Giants. The big lefty from Hartford Community College started his collegiate career at the University of Maryland and now looks to propel his name up the charts as it did in high school. Was the 3rd ranked left-handed pitcher in the state of Maryland.
Yeah, definitely a great opportunity coming into this summer, looking to make a name for himself. Didn't get too much opportunity at Hartford Community College, so big summer here can propel him in the right direction.
And the first batter he will face for the T-Bolts is Griffin Puvel from Widener University. First pitch comes in as a called strike, and we are away in Gaithersburg. 0-1 now from Willis. Paints the outside part of the plate. Puvel will spit on that one, and it's quickly 0-2. Puvel played in the Cal Ripken League last year for the Crop Dusters, and now makes his way over to Silver Spring. 0-2 pitch, fouled back into the fence. And Puvel will stay alive.
Puvel in his last season at Rider batted .237 with 3 home runs.
0-2 outside. And now 1-2. 89 from Willis. Looking to get his first punch out. 1-2 pitch. Still painting that outside, but that one just a little far off for the home plate umpire's liking. Now even at 2. Willis delivers on the outside again, now full count. And Puvel, having just watched these pitches go by, could make his way down to first depending on where this pitch goes. Full count. This one way out. And the first base runner for the T-Bolts comes with their first batter, and it's Griffin Puvel.
Can't blame Willis there for trying to find the outside of his zone. First 2 definitely outside balls called for strikes. However, wasn't as lucky on his next 2. That last one just got away from him there.
Yeah, he was really attacking that outside part of the plate. Now he'll face Tyson Gill from Clarion. First pitch to Gill is inside. Now it's 1-0. Willis delivers, and that's a strike to break a streak of 5 straight balls. 1-1. Looking at Puvel on first. Willis delivers. This one hacked at and foul. 1-2 now to Tyson Gill. And his first punch out, and now a back pick attempt not in time for Puvel at first, but Willis at 89 gets the bottom part of the zone, and it's one away here in the top of the first. Now Jack Hurta steps up. First pitch is a comebacker, misses the glove of Willis, and now Marino will tag Puvel out, and now they do rule Puvel out as the ball came out of Marino's glove, but Marino unable to complete the double play, so it's 2 gone, and Hurta stands on first.
The ball wasn't maintained through the out there. However, the umpire says it was in his glove long enough.
First pitch outside to Steve Thomas. Thomas, one of 11 returners to this T-Bolts roster from last summer. Thomas grounds this one to Marino. Has to field a tough hop, just flips it to second for the third and final out of the top of the first. Willis walks one, but doesn't make it count. And we'll go to the bottom of the first. The score is still 1-1 here on the Giants Broadcast Network. Welcome back on the Giants Broadcast Network as we are set to begin the bottom of the first. T-Bolts unable to strike as Freddie Diaz will step up to the plate. He was the first Giants run of the season last night in Waldorf.
Diaz had a couple of few unfortunate at-bats ending in backwards Ks, looking to eliminate those in today's game.
Faces Braden Featherolf. First pitch from Featherolf outside. And it's 1-0.
Featherolf pitched 31 innings in his past season for Clarion. Finished with a 6.1 ERA.
Second pitch way upstairs, and it's 2-0. 2-0 finds the zone, now 2-1. Diaz trying to get on base. 2-1 to him. That one misses upstairs, now 3-1. Every one of these pitches has been in the high 80s for Featherolf. 3-1. Misses upstairs, and Diaz is aboard with a leadoff walk.
Yeah, Diaz not challenged much in that at bat. He will take first base with ease.
And we'll see how eager he is to advance as Brady Ruiz-Weiss, the sophomore from Yale, will step in the box. First pitch to Weiss, he squares to bunt. That one misses upstairs again from Featherolf, and it's 1-0.
Brady entered the last Giants game late, delivered a nice hit into left field, scoring a run.
Tips this one back into Steve Thomas's glove, and now it's 1-1.
A lot of speed from this batter.
1-1 to Weiss. Grounds this one to short. Fielded, steps on second, delivers over to first, and can't beat out the double play. Now 2 gone.
Nice play from the Thunderbolts there. A little bobble. Still able to maintain control of the ball and get both outs.
Yeah, Vazzo looked like he was going to drop the ball originally and elects to step on second himself, and that's likely why they were able to turn the double play. First pitch to Nicholson misses outside. One 1-0 to Nicholson. Grounds this one over to Kim, who fields it and throws it on over to Foster, and we will get out of the first. Still a 0-0 game here in Gaithersburg, and we'll step away here on the Giants Broadcast Network. Broadcast Network, David Lewis and Jake Tseronis here in Gaithersburg as we start the top of the second inning. Gray Willis walked his first batter before getting 3 in a row. First pitch is fouled off by Braden Foster. Foster, the rising senior at Youngstown State. This one grounded hard over to third. Long throw, and it's in time by Maxey. Aiden Maxey slots into the lineup over at third, where Diaz was last night. Diaz over at second here this evening. And now Vance Bonnier. First pitch to Bonnier is outside, 1 out. Bonnier had to pitch for the T-Bolts last night. He is a two-way guy. Slotted in as the designated hitter this evening. Second pitch misses inside. Now 2-0.
Yeah, you mentioned he's a 2-1 player. Bonnier at UMass in his freshman season batted .250 and only 4 at-bats. Finished with 2 RBIs as well.
2-0. Bonnier puts this one through the infield. And the first hit of the ball game is Vance Bonnier for the T-Bolts. That'll bring up the senior from Cornell, Matt Walters. Another returner to Brock Hunter's T-Bolts squad. As I mentioned, the return numbers for Brock Hunter in the double digits, which isn't something you see very often here in the Cal Ripken League. First pitch to Walters outside.
Yeah, the Thunderbolts with a much older roster than teams we've seen in the Cal Ripken League so far.
Walters late on that one, fouled off into the netting, and now 1-1. That pitch goes way outside from Willis. 2-1 now to Walters. Zach White once again looking down. Bonnier on first base. Saw a couple back picks from White last night in Waldorf. 2-1 from Willis. Swing at it is Walters. Willis had him fooled. 2-2.
That ball nowhere close to the strike zone. As mentioned, Willis still got him to swing.
2-2, one away. Pitch from Willis. High and outside again. Willis a little frustrated with himself as the count goes full. Three-two outside, and now 2 base runners aboard for the T-Bolts and the first runner in scoring position of this game.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Willis just a little frustrated with himself on that second to last pitch there. Similar to that one, the last pitch just got away from him.
Yeah, and as we were speaking pregame, walks the killer last night for the Giants. Lots of self-inflicted wounds, but after a single from Bonnier, it's Willis's second walk of the game already here in the top of the second.
Yes, self-inflicted wounds was the name of Giants' last game.
David Vazzo, first pitch to him. Fouls that one off towards his dugout. Bit of an off-speed pitch from Willis, 83 instead of the 88 to 89 that we've seen. 0-1. Ground this one over to third, bobbled over by Maxey, tries to get to third in time and can't do so. And now the bases are loaded for Matthew Kim.
Yeah, we didn't have the best view of that play there, but we were able to see Marino bobble a ball. The Thunderbolt was able to dive into third safely before being tagged out.
Yeah, tough luck for Willis. Wasn't necessarily a soft ground ball. Tough for Aiden Maxey to handle, but couldn't get the closest out to him as the first pitch to Kim is in there for strike one. Oh, 0-1 to Kim. Low in the zone, and count goes 1-1.
Kim had an on-base percentage of .440 at Frederick Community College this past season.
1-1. Outside again. And that same pitch has not been really finding its way for Willis. I'd say that's the 4th or 5th time he's missed into that general direction.
Yeah, a lot of high and out pitches we've seen so far.
2-1. This one skips into the glove of Zach White. Doing a good job keeping that one in front of him. And now hitters count for Matthew Kim and has the bases loaded. (3-1). Kim hacks this one back into the net, into the fence. And it's caught off the ricochet by Zach White. Full count now, 1 out. Bases loaded. T-Bolts trying to take the first lead of the game here in the top of the second. Pitch from Willis. Hacked back into the netting. And that is one thing Brock Hunter makes sure his entire team does, and that's make noise from the dugout. Not sure if our microphone is picking that up or not, but they are a very vocal bunch year in and year out.
Yeah, it hasn't been moments of silence in this game so far.
Full count pitch. Kim grounds this one down the third base line and foul. And we'll have to go again.
Yeah, Kim put up a good battle at the plate here, making Willis earn this K.
Kim did not play last night in Alexandria. So his first at-bat of the summer. And what an at-bat it is. Full count, 1 out, bases loaded. Pitch from Willis. Swing and a miss from Kim. And there's 2 gone.
That was a crucial pitch for the Giants. Willis able to keep that one low in the zone. Forces Kim to swing. He's just not able to make contact with it.
And it's definitely been that lower part of the zone that's been Willis's most effective pitch thus far. First pitch to Puvel is outside. Puvel walked back in the top of the first. Now in his second at-bat here. 1-0. Outside part of the plate, and now Willis gets that call that he's been hunting for.
Yeah, that was that outside straight call we saw in the first at-bat.
1-1 to Puvel. High and outside this time. 2-1. Willis giving himself a breather here. That last strikeout of Kim eliminated the sacrifice opportunity for the T-Bolts. 2-1. Outside and low. Now 3-1 to Puvel and nowhere to put him.
The Giants would hate to get in a situation early where, again, they are self-inflicting wounds here. Would hate to see a walked-in run.
3-1. Swing and a miss from Puvel. Count goes full.
A lot of early quality at-bats we see in this game. The biggest one so far coming up.
And some early drama, too. Full count. 2 outs. Bases loaded. Here's the pitch from Willis. Hacked at it into the netting. And we'll see a sequel for Puvel. Willis delivers. This one popped up softly into shallow center. Under it is Henley, and he makes the grab to keep it a 0-0 ball game as we'll go to the bottom of the second here from Gaithersburg on the Giants Broadcast Network. Welcome back on the Giants Broadcast Network. Gray Willis escapes in the top of the second, so it's still 0-0 as we start the bottom of the second. It'll be Aaron Babayev stepping up to the plate. First pitch to Babayev. Puts this one right back to the shortstop, fielded by Vazo, and over to Foster for the first out of the inning. One pitch, one out for Fedorov. And that's exactly what Brock Hunter is hoping for. As we mentioned, 6 pitchers used last night in their extra inning loss to the Aces.
Yes, not only in the games, but as we mentioned last night, the length of the season and the pitching, the amount of innings these pitchers can pitch is crucial to get early innings early on in the season. So you have arms for later.
0-1 to Orr. Orr hits that one back into the mask of Thomas. Orr with a interesting stance. Rocks the no gloves as well. Has the bat barrel almost pointed back at Fedorov, who delivers here. Check swing, doesn't go. Count goes to 1-2. Danny Orr, the UMBC retriever. 1-2 to Orr. Hits this one hard into left field and down for a base hit. Orr is turning for second. Herta's throw, still not into second. They'll elect to throw it into third, and it's a stand-up helmet off double for Danny Orr, and the Giants' first runner in scoring position.
Yeah, Orr ripped that one down the left field line. I believe there was maybe some mishandling of the ball. It took a while to get in there. We weren't able to see it from our position, but a nice stand-up double there for Orr to get it going for the Giants.
Yeah, the very interesting thing here about Criswell Automotive Field is the fence is 350 all the way around, so those corners are very deep, and that's exactly where Orr was able to put it. Now here's Zach White. First pitch to White, finds the zone. Last night, White went 2 for 4 with a stolen base. 0-1. This one clips the top part of the zone, and White's down 0-2. Fedorov looking for the punch out. He delivers. Upstairs. Count will go to 1-2. Orr with a healthy lead off second. Fedorov stares him down. Delivers now. Swing and a miss in the dirt. White will take off for first, and Orr will take off for third. Foster with the no throw. And now the Giants' first run 90 feet away for Nate Houghton Henley.
Yeah, a nice low pitch there from Fedorov. Doesn't give Zach White a chance to hit it. However, he still chooses to swing, although he's able to advance the base runner.
First pitch to Henley is outside. Count goes to 1-0.
Henley, one of the few freshmen on this Giants roster out of the University of Maryland, making his first appearance in this game.
1-0 outside, now 2-0. So now a 2-0 count for the incoming freshman. 2-0. Upstairs now 3-0. So with Danny Orr dancing around in the eyes of Fedorov, he's losing a bit of control.
Henley's going to look for something perfect here.
3-0. Way outside. And a 4-pitch walk for Henley. Didn't have anything to swing at. That'll bring up Aiden Marino. Marino, who went 1 for 3 with a walk and 2 stolen bases last night, had 2 strikeouts as well, but looking for a base hit here to score the Giants' first run of the game. He grounds it over to third. Gill will field it and throw across the diamond to Foster, who's able to keep his foot on the bag. And we remain scoreless as we'll go to the top of the 3rd inning on the other side here on the Giants Broadcast Network. Welcome back on the Giants Broadcast Network as we enter the top of the 3rd inning here from Gaithersburg. Gray Willis will continue on the mound, and he'll face Tyson Gill, who is his first punch-out of his outing back in the top of the 1st.
Willis narrowly escaping from a bases-loaded situation last inning.
Gill cranks this one to center. Henley has to give it some hesitation, and it bounces in front of him. And quickly Gill is aboard. 1 pitch, and he liked it.
Yeah, nice hack in the center field. A little mishap there, however, the ball is able to remain in front of the Giants' outfield. Keeps it to a single.
Yeah, crucial keeping it to a single, not allowing him to advance for Jack Herta. First pitch to Herta is inside. One 0 to Herta. Outside, back pick by White, not in time. Count will go 2-0.
Saw a lot of funky pickoff and non-pickoff moves in the last Giants game from both teams.
Pitch from Willis, grounded over to first base. Fielded nicely by Orr, who will step on first. And there's one away as Gill advances to second.
That was a nice play there from Orr. Bouncing ground ball over to him, able to keep his eyes on it. Makes it a routine play.
That brings up Steve Thomas. Grounded into the 3rd and final out. 6-4 in the top of the 1st. Bounces in. Zach White able to keep it in front of him. Gill will stay on second. 1-0 now to Thomas. Thomas, the rising senior at Catholic University in D.C. 1-0 misses low and inside, now 2-0.
Yeah, Thomas coming off a really good season with a .401 batting average in 18 doubles. Wow.
Looking to punch one into the outfield here. 2-0 hitter.
Yeah, definitely a dangerous man to have in this situation with a runner in scoring position.
Time called. As Willis will get set again. This one misses high and outside. 4-pitch walk. Throw down to second. Not in time. A throwdown from Zach White all the way for a back pick. Freddie Diaz didn't have the ball in time to lay that pick down, and now Vinny Capozzo will like to have a word with his starter.
Yeah, back-to-back innings with runners put in scoring position here calls for a meeting.
Especially after a 4-pitch walk. Brockway probably hoping to go a little further in the game to have to go to his bullpen. Last night started using his bullpen in the 5th inning as Nick Carls got through 4.
And, although we mentioned the Giants bullpen, which, I think we could both agree was the cost of the Giants' last game, the first pitcher from the bullpen, Jano Vilas, gave himself a good outing in his 2 innings. And everyone who followed after that quickly tailed off.
Yeah, sometimes it takes an outing or two to settle back into things, so hoping the bullpen will stay steady here in the early going of the season. Pitch from Willis, grounded foul down the third base line. Foster staring at an 0-1 count. Pitch from Willis. This one fouled the other way now. Onto the soccer field to our right. And now down 0-2 is Braden Foster. Oh-2 hits Foster. And the bases will be loaded back-to-back innings here for the T-Bolts.
Yeah, I see. Bases loaded with only 1 out to go. So the sacrifice is still in play here.
And that hit by pitch is especially tough for Willis after he had Foster at an 0-2 count in that at-bat. And now Vance Bonnier, the first hit of the ball game, looks at strike 1 on the outside part of the plate. Got a single to the opposite field. 0-1 swings and misses at that one. Low at 85. Now 0-2.
Willis looking to put the pin in this at-bat.
Oh, 2. Grounded over to second base. Diaz fields it, throws it over to first. And the first run of the ball game is to the T-Bolts. A sacrifice for Vance Bonnier. Scores Tyson Gill. And now there's 2 gone with 2 runners in scoring position still for the T-Bolts for Matt Walters. Time taken by Willis.
Willis still not out of this yet with 2 runners in scoring position.
Comebacker over to Willis, fields it, and we'll flip it over to Orr at first to end the inning. So 1 run plated as Willis will get through 3 with just the 1 run after getting 2 bases loaded situations. And we'll go to the bottom of the 3rd here on the Giants Broadcast Network. Welcome back on the Giants Broadcast Network as we enter the bottom of the third. The T-Bolts getting the first run of the ball game after having 2 bases loaded situations in back-to-back innings. They do get 1 run across. And now Ryan Maxey will look to respond for the Giants. Maxey from St. John's River State College at the junior college level. First pitch to him is low and outside for ball 1. Maxey drew 19 walks in 34 games. 1-0 to him. He hacks this one. Lofted into right field. Under it is Walters to make the first out of the inning. That'll bring up the top of the order and Freddie Diaz. First pitch to Diaz, 0-1. Diaz walked his first time up. Flies this one high into the air and just clips the netting to be out of play.
Diaz in a tough spot here, but out of all the batters on the Giants roster, he definitely was able to fight back the most, getting into a lot of full counts here. Can't count him out yet.
And for a guy that only had 4 at-bats all spring, he now looks at 0-2. Wisely lays off that one. Count goes to 1-2. And something I didn't bring up last night was Diaz actually won the 2A championship in high school for Middleton in Regency Furniture Stadium, otherwise known as the home of the Southern Maryland Senators. 2-2 now to Diaz. Strike 3 called as it just painted the outside corner. That'll bring up Brady Ruiz-Weiss. Grounded into a double play back in the first. Squares to bunt again. And strike 1 called. I say again because he did that on the first pitch back in the first inning.
Giants trying to take advantage of his speed.
0-1. Doesn't score to bunt there. And the pitch is low. Count will go even at 1-1. 1-1 outside. The Yale Bulldog must be a very smart individual to be able to play there. 2-1. Cranks this one into center and down for a base hit. He's already looking 2. He'll take a big turn at first and stay there. But a 2-out single for Brady Ruiz-Weiss, and that'll bring up Joey Nicholson.
And Nicholson, another Giant player with power. In his career, he has a .385 batting average with 15 home runs. Looking to do some damage here with a runner on.
Pickoff attempt not in time. Featheroff hasn't had much traffic to deal with, other than last inning had Danny Orr at third. This pitch comes in high for ball 1.
Weiss definitely a danger runner to have on base. Going to keep Featheroff on his toes.
Featheroff delivers. This one does clip belt high, and the count will go 1-1. Looking for that call on the previous pitch, but this one just a tad bit lower and able to even it up. Featheroff gets that same part again, now 1-2. Nicholson seemingly has seen the same pitch 3 straight times.
Yeah, Featheroff has definitely found the umpire zone here.
One, two, 2 outs. Featheroff delivers. Grounded over to the second baseman, Kim, who fields it and throws it over to Foster to end the 3rd inning. T-Bolts will take their 1-0 lead to the top of the 4th as they grab the bats again, and we'll step away here on the Giants Broadcast Network.
Ready?
Welcome back to Gaithersburg, Maryland. New pitcher on the mound for the Giants as we go to the top of the 4th inning. Dylan Shriver, the sophomore from Malloy College, will get on the bump, replacing Gray Willis, who will get off after 3 innings, 2 hits, just the 1 earned run, 3 walks and 2 strikeouts for him.
Shriver had 18 innings pitched at Malroy, finished with a 2.89 ERA.
That'll bring up David Vazzo to start off the 4th inning. Reached on an error his first time up back in the 2nd. First pitch misses for Shriver, and it's 1-0 to Vazzo. And that one nicely finds the zone for Shriver. 87 in that upper middle part of the zone. 1-1. Now. Hacked at and foul. Out of play down the first base line, ending up in the Giants bullpen. Unlike last night in Waldorf, these bullpens here in Gaithersburg are pretty much out of the field of play completely. One and two now to Vazzo. Swing and a miss. And in his first batter, Shriver has his first punch out. And it's the first out of the top of the 4th.
Nice off-speed pitch there from Shriver. Completely threw Vazzo off of his timing.
.77 clipping that outside part of the plate. Brings up Matthew Kim. First pitch to Kim is inside. Kim struck out his first time up. 1-0 from Shriver. That one misses just outside at 87. (2-0 to Kim. Inside, just like the first pitch, and now 3-0. So after his first punch out, it's 3 straight balls for Shriver.
Kim waiting on perfection.
3-0 now, and a 4-pitch walk issued by Shriver. 84 misses just above the belt.
The second 4-pitch walk we've seen from a Giants pitcher today.
Yeah, it's the 4th walk and the 5th free pass overall when you include Braden Foster's hit by pitch in just the top of the 4th. This one grounded to second. Diaz fields it, flips it over. Marino for the double play in time to end the inning. So after a 4-pitch walk, Shriver delivers a ground ball worthy of a double play, and we'll go to the bottom of the 4th here in Gaithersburg. Welcome back on the Giants Broadcast Network. Still 1-0 as we go to the bottom of the 4th. Dylan Shriver coming in relief for the Giants. Got a punch out in his first batter, issued a walk, and then a 1-pitch double play to Griffin Puvel to end the top of the 4th.
Yeah, nice play there from Giants middle infield to get them out of that inning quickly.
Now, Babayev will step back in. First pitch to Babayev. Outside. One 0. Finds the zone, now 1-1 to number 11. Featheroff continuing his night of work. This pitch misses outside. Kind of just lofted it in there at 77. 2-1. Grounded over to Foster, fields it on a hop nicely for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, a gracious bounce off the infield grass into the Thunderbolts first baseman makes it easy for out number 1.
That'll bring up Danny Orr, who doubled into the left field corner his first time up. The first hit for the Giants this evening. First pitch is right down Broadway at 88. 0-1 to Orr. This one misses just high at 79. Losing his grip on that one was feather off.
Didn't seem too happy about that. Give it some time to recollect.
2-1, 1 out in the bottom of the fourth in a 1-0 ball game. Orr swings and misses at that one. 86, just out of the zone, but had Orr fooled. As the sun begins to set here in Gaithersburg. 2-2 misses outside. Count will go full to Danny Orr.
They're off, delivering these pitches quickly after getting set on the mound.
Shakes off Thomas a couple times. Full count. Up and foul onto the soccer field. And it does avoid those entertaining themselves in the wonderful game of football. Full count. Cracks this one into left field again, but Herta there to make the grab. So Orr put it into left field again, but this time into the path of Herta for out number 2.
Yeah, nice contact on that. Just wasn't able to locate that as well as his first hit.
That is nice to see consecutive at-bats with good contact, though, for Danny Orr. As he heads back to the dugout, Zach White will step in for his second at-bat. First pitch to White misses outside. White struck out his first time up back in the second inning.
Speaking of contact, Zach White, a batter for the Giants who made a lot of contact in their game versus Senators last night.
(2-0). Upstairs now 3-0. Zach White, as I mentioned last night, the younger brother of Barham White, who was a catcher last year for the Giants as well. 3-0. Just gets inside. Count will go to 3-1. (3-1) misses outside, and it's a walk issued to Zach White. Still 2 away for Featheroff, but that'll bring up Nate Henley, who walked his first time up on 4 pitches. Pitch from Featheroff. Clips belt high at 73, and 0-1 to the incoming Terrapin.
A lot of range between Featheroff's fastball and off-speed pitches.
Oh, 1. Low. Count will go 1-1. T-Bolts really wanted that call. Can hear the good miss from their infield. (1-1) from Featheroff. Late on it was Henley, and back into the fence. Count goes 1-2. Featheroff 1 pitch away from getting out of this inning. Pickoff attempt at first, not in time, as White gets back in.
Featheroff, they'll be taking more time to deliver his pitch with a runner on.
(1-2). Just misses outside. Good eye from Henley to hold up on that one. Count goes even at 2-2. Pitch to Henley. Late on it again and into the fence. As Aiden Marino picks that one up. And we'll go again. 2-2, 2 outs. Zach White on first. Pitch to Henley. Swing and a miss. And you can hear it in his voice as Featheroff gets off the mound. As he gets through 4, we'll go to the top of the 5th. Score still 1-0 T-Bolts here in Gaithersburg. Welcome back on the Giants Broadcast Network. Top of the 5th we go. Dylan Shriver back on the mound for the Giants. He saw 3 batters, but got a strikeout and a walk. And then first pitch double play. And that'll bring up Tyson Gill now, who singled back in the 3rd inning and came around to score. The lone run in this game. First pitch to him, outside for ball 1.
We've been talking about that outside pitch coming in as a strike most of the time. However, this only seems to be for righty hitters.
Pitch pops out of the glove of Zach White. It was outside. (2-0) now. 2-0 finds the zone for Shriver. Now 2-1. Shriver just trying to maintain this narrow lead for the T-Bolts. 2-1. Misses way outside. 3-1. As we saw last night, the Giants and Senators were seemingly neck and neck. Senators responding to everything the Giants were doing until it was just too much. And too much of a deficit for the Giants to come back from. 3-1. And a walk for Tyson Gill.
Now back with T-Bolts number 38, Jack Herda.
Bring up Jack Herda again. Pick off over to Gill, not in time. First pitch to Herda is way outside again, missing at 86.
Herda has struggled. Shriver has struggled to bring it into the zone. Start the top of the 5th here.
1-0. Herda cranks this one into left field and down for a base hit. Bounces just in front of Henley, Weiss over there in left field. And now 2 runners aboard with nobody out for Steve Thomas.
Unlike last night, these balls seem to be dropping a lot quicker than they were in Senator Stadium, where the ball seeming to be almost stuck in the air.
Yeah. Big lead on second for Gill. Shriver now delivers. Finds the inside part of the plate. Nice pitch for him. Now 0-1 to Thomas. This is outside. Count will go 1-1.
T-Bolts looking to extend their one-run lead here as they have another runner in scoring position with 0 outs.
Shriver 1-1, fouled off into the netting by Thomas. Thomas now down 1-2 with a runner in scoring position. Nobody out for the T-Bolts. This could be a big inning. Shriver trying to shut him down. 1-2. Fouled up and out of play by Shriver. Back onto the soccer field. And for how tall the netting is here at Criswell Automotive, the ball seemingly finds its way over the netting almost every inning. 1-2 again to Thomas. Shriver now put on the ground to the shortstop. Marino fields it, throws it over to second, and double play can't be made by Diaz, but it is 1 out. And now runners on the corners for Braden Foster.
Yeah, nice play from Marino there. Wasn't able to get the out at first. Quickly turns over to second base, starts a throw in there. The first out of the inning.
Yeah, really nice job by Marino as his body was taking him one way. Had to put on the brakes and able to at least get 1 out. Double play is still in order for the Giants. This pitch misses way outside. Play at the plate. Throw down in time. And the second out of the inning comes at the plate.
Great heads-up play there from Zach White. A shorter backstop that we saw at Center's Field here, where there was actually a big mishap from the Giants fielding on a wild pitch, but there they were able to execute effectively, keeping it to a 1-run deficit.
First pitch came in as a ball. 1-0. As Thomas took off for second. This one grounded right to the Giants' dugout. It's the fence, and Orr will clean that one up.
That call at the plate definitely gives the Giants a sigh of relief, as there's still a runner in scoring position, but no longer on third and an extra out.
One now to Foster. Misses upstairs. Now 2-1. Two-one from Shriver. Misses just outside. Shriver gonna slow himself down a little bit to take a breath here, as Foster stares at a hitter's count, 3-1.
A lot of hitters counts in this inning for Shriver.
Three-one. Called strike on the inside. Foster seemingly made a move like he had to get out of the way. And the home plate umpire saying that came back just enough over the plate to make the count full. Full count, 2 outs. Runner still in scoring position for the T-Bolts. Grounded over Marino. Tough hop, fields it nicely. Throw over to Orr in time to end the top of the 5th. And we'll step away here on the Giants Broadcast Network. The score is still 1-0 T-Bolts. Welcome back to Gaithersburg, Maryland. New arm on the mound for the T-Bolts, Michael Presky from Cecil College. As Featheroff's day is done, 4 innings pitched, 2 hits, no runs, 3 walks, and 3 strikeouts. As Presky's first batter he will face is Aiden Marino, who ended that last inning.
Yeah, Marino has made a couple nice plays in the infield here today for the Giants.
Squares to bunt is Marino. Pitch gets through the glove of Thomas, but no one on the base paths yet for the Giants. The count will go 1-0. Second pitch from Presky finds the zone, and the count will go 1-1. This one right back up the middle and into center field for Marino. He's aboard with a base knock.
Yeah, I can hear it in your voice there, David. That one smoked right over the pitcher's head there. Nice solid hit. It's always nice when the leadoff batter gets on.
Yeah, we saw a close call last night in Waldorf with Senators pitcher, I believe, Siebel, getting one off the side of his glove, narrowly missing his head, and right there, Marino just put that one half a foot above Presky's head, as now Presky will get a meeting from Thomas after that hard base knock.
Yeah. Probably checking on his man, making sure he's feeling good.
That'll bring up Ryan Maxey now. Maxey looks at strike one. Maxey flew out to right field his first time up. Oh, 1. Fouled off into the netting. As a train horn sounds in the distance, Maxey trying to put together a train of hits here for the Giants. Still a 1-0 lead for the T-Bolts here in the bottom of the 5th. 0-2. Taking off is Marino. Throw is in time. The punch out at the plate and the throw down at second base. And just like that, there's 2 gone. And as a pitcher, when you have a runner on base, you couldn't ask for a better outcome. A punch out and then a caught stealing from Steve Thomas to get 2 on 1 pitch.
Yeah, nice quick pop there for Steve Thomas to get that throw in time, and a nice little unorthodox double play for the Thunderbolts.
It was quickly 1-0, now 2-0. As Presky starts to work quickly. Diaz stares at ball 3, just missing on the outside low corner. 3-0. As Presky finds the strike zone again, maybe got a little worked up with how well Steve Thomas had his back there on the caught stealing, and now 3-1 to Diaz. Finds the zone again at 72. So from starting this at-bat by pitching fast, now slows his individual pitches down. Full count. Misses outside, and Diaz is aboard with a 2-out walk.
Yeah, even with that walk, this inning got a whole lot easier in that last at-bat. After letting off a leadoff single with a rip into center field, strike a guy out while your catcher throws the other base runner out.
Now Brady Weiss as Diaz takes off. Squaring to bunt again was Weiss, pitch to second base. 1-0 to Weiss with a runner in scoring position. See if Diaz takes off for third here. Ball stays in the catching glove of Thomas, but a 2-0 count for Brady Weiss.
It's the third time we see Weiss go down for a bunt in this game.
Yeah, he started every at-bat scoring to bunt. Does so again here. Lays it down, but foul. And he'll have to go again. Now 2-1 to him. The previous 2 at-bats, he squared to bunt on just the first pitch before swinging away after that. But this at-bat, 3 straight bunt attempts, pulled back the first 2 times. Last time was foul. Now 2-1. Diaz takes off inside, and no throw from Thomas. Down to third goes Diaz.
Giants in a pretty good spot here to tie the game. 3-1 count with a runner on third now. Still 2 outs.
3-1 to Weiss. This one cranked down to Foster at first. Race to first base, and Foster wins that one to end the 5th inning. Run doesn't score for the Giants as they created some traffic, but getting out of it is Presky, and we'll go to the top of the 6th inning. Still 1-0 lead here in Gaithersburg for the T-Bolts. Welcome back to Gaithersburg, Maryland. Dylan Schreiber out for his 3rd inning of work as the Giants have come very close to answering just the singular run that the T-Bolts have been able to put up, but have been unlucky and unfortunate in doing so. As now Vance Bonnier steps in for his 3rd at-bat. Shriver's first pitch to Bonnier misses up high. "1-0" finds the inside part of the plate. Now 1-1. "1-1" from Shriver. This one misses way inside and high. "2-1" from Shriver. Hits Bonnier. And he wears it pretty easily.
Yeah.
That one coming in at 73.
On hitting him in the head as well. Of course, he does have a helmet on, but not even a flinch from Bonnier.
Yeah, I was wondering what the sound was, because Bonnier doesn't wear any of the elbow guards or anything like that. So, helmet it was. See, he trots down to first. Now 0-1 to Walters, who fouled that one off. "0-1" Walters fouls this one again back into the netting. He's down 0-2. He's been late on these last two.
Walters looking for his first hit of the game.
0-2. Misses low and outside. As you mentioned, Walters 0 for 1. Grounded out to the pitcher his last time up, but walked his first time up back in the second inning. One, two. Hits softly to Diaz at second, who will throw over to first for the first out of the inning as Bonnier takes second base.
Got another nice play from the Giants infield so far. Has been clean throughout this game. Specifically Marino and Diaz.
Yeah, Diaz has had a really nice game over there at second. Played third base last night for the Giants. This one popped up and out of play on the first pitch by Vazzo. Vazzo reached on an error back in the second inning, struck out his last time up in the fourth. Vazzo with a runner in scoring position, just one out here in the top of the sixth. Shriver has this one cranked into left field, and that wraps around the base. It's around and it'll score one. Safely into second is David Vazzo. And the T-Bolts have taken a 2-0 lead now here in the top of the second.
Yeah, that one came off the bat at 96 miles per hour. Just ripped down the left field line. So he's taking off some of his hitting armor.
And it didn't get too far before hitting the grass. Only made it 150, but as you said, 96 off the bat and punished just over the head of. And then this one cranked just past the sprawling Marino at short, bobbled by Ruiz. Weiss in left, and now thrown into second, and back-to-back hits on back-to-back pitches for the T-Bolts. It's 3-0.
Yeah, that is just a tough showing right here for the Giants. Back-to-back doubles, both hit into left field. One through the gap, one down the line. However, they both score one. T-Bolts now have a 3-0 lead over the Giants with only one out in this inning.
Yeah, Matthew Kim connecting on that one, 91. That one was coming in at 86 middle. And Kim sending it back out into left field. Shriver's pitch finds the zone on the top of the order in Griffin Puvel. Puvel 0 for 2, grounded into a double play in the fourth. And now he has another runner in scoring position to work with. Still just one out. Grounded right back off the foot of Shriver, and no play will be made. 97 off the bat, and now Zach White will go check in with his pitcher.
I think Shriver was able to cover his foot with his glove. I was scared to hit him on the ankle there. However, he doesn't seem to be limping, and however, I think this will be the end of his night.
Yes, it will, and now runners on the corners after the T-Bolts have already put up 2 here in the top of the sixth. We'll have a new arm coming when we come back here on the Giants Broadcast Network. Welcome back to Gaithersburg, Maryland. The T-Bolts putting up 2 here in the top of the 6th means a new arm for the Giants. Evan Tseronis will take over for Dylan Shriver. And he has runners on the corners and 1 out.
Tseronis, a 6'4" pitcher from Denison.
First pitch he delivers is high and inside.
Tseronis graduated high school from Gonzaga, a local here. Only had 1 inning for Denison last year.
1-0, misses inside again, now 2-0. You do have a place to put Tyson Gill, and Gill has been busy on the base paths. Had a single his first time up, was the first run of the game back in the top of the 3rd, and then walked in the top of the 5th. That one finds the zone, now 2-1. Tseronis just trying to keep this a 3-run game now. Runner takes off, fouled back into the fence, narrowly missing the home plate umpire. Count will go to 2-2, and Puvel will have to return to first.
Tseronis, big pitch coming up here.
Yeah, crucial punch out if Tseronis can get it here on Tyson Gill. 2-2. Pitch from Tseronis is fouled right over to the T-Bolts bullpen. I believe it made it that far.
Yeah, got some chatter coming from that direction.
Was kind of a late hack by Gill. Just trying to stay alive. 2-2 again. Runner takes off, misses outside. No throw from the catcher, Zach White. And now a full count. 2 runners in scoring position for Tyson Gill.
Yeah, with Pavel reaching second base there, it only increases the severity of this next pitch.
And with that stolen base, that'll draw the infield in here for this next pitch. Full count. Tseronis misses that one. And now the 3rd time this evening, the T-Bolts have bases loaded and 1 out.
Been a couple too many walks for Giants pitchers in this game so far. Not the first time or second we've seen bases loaded from the Thunderbolts. Only with 1 out in the top of the 6th here.
That'll bring up Jack Herta for his 4th at-bat, 1 for 3. Herta late on that one, and it thunders off one of the foul netting posts and comes back into the field of play. Oh, 1 now to Jack Herta. Singled his last time up. 0-1. Fouls this one into the fence. Now 0-2.
This will be a huge punch out, for the Giants. Will allow the infield to back up.
Tseronis has a couple pitches to work with here as he's up 0-2. This one lofted into left field. Caught. Runner will tag and throw home, not in time. It's now 4-0 T-Bolts. And a little questionable from the Giants there. Maybe if they hadn't cut that throw off, if the throw had been in time, the relay may have lost them some time in trying to get David Vazzo, Matthew Kim out at home.
I was thinking the same thing, David. You heard the Senators base runner starting to yell, "Get down," however the ball was cut off.
Now 2 gone. Fouling this one back is Steve Thomas. So a RBI sac fly for Jack Herta. 0-1 bounces in to Zach White. Good job by White to keep that one in his possession, not allowing anyone to take an extra base. Now 1-1.
Thomas with a ground out and fielder's choice in this game.
1-1. Lofted into foul territory. Danny Orr not there in time. Tough play to make. It was in foul ground, so everyone will have to go back to their positions. And it's a 1-2 count now for Steve Thomas.
Orr was looking straight over his head on that one. Would have been a miraculous catch.
Yeah, very tough play for the Giants' first baseman to make. It was about a full stride or two away from being maybe in a position to make a play. 1-2, 2 out. Runner on first and second to Steve Thomas. Strike 3 called. And that will stop the bleeding for the Giants as the T-Bolts plate 3. It's now 4-0, and the Giants look to respond as we go to the bottom of the 6th here on the Giants Broadcast Network. Welcome back on the Giants Broadcast Network. Bottom of the 6th inning, Joey Nicholson will lead off for the Giants as Michael Presky will get back on the mound. T-Bolt's pitching staff doing a really nice job. Just 3 hits for the Giants this evening. First pitch to Nicholson in there for strike 1. Nicholson grounds this one over to second. Kim fields it and throws it over to Foster at first. And there's one gone on the second pitch of the inning.
And that play adding to what you said about the T-Bolts pitching staff. You know, they're through two pitchers through 6 innings, and especially after a game where you go 12 innings, it's great to see a nice bounce back from your bullpen.
And now Babayev will step in. Aaron Babayev from the College of San Mateo. Started at Tulane before transferring over to the West Coast. First pitch to Babayev, swing and a miss. 71. That was a really nice pitch, and you could hear the loud approval from the T-Bolts bench. 0-1. Swing and a miss again. That at 82. To go from 71 to 82 is really tough to keep up with.
Yeah, 2 big cuts from Babayev, both missing.
0-2. And that one hits Babayev. And now the first base runner of the inning comes by way of a hit by pitch.
You heard after that pitch, Presky was not happy after 2 fantastic pitches. Had Babayev exactly where he wanted him, unfortunately. He lets Babayev get away.
That brings up Danny Orr, who doubled his first time up and then flew out to left his second time up. Loud contact from both at-bats. And he does it again. This one driven into left center field, down for a base hit. And cut off by the center fielder, Puvel. And Babayev moves over to second now.
Yeah, runners on first and second now with 1 out. As you mentioned, a lot of pop coming from Danny Orr this game. Adds a single to his resume.
That'll bring up Zach White. 0 for 1 with a strikeout, walked his last time up. Now has 2 on, 1 out. Giants looking to respond. Orr dancing around again on second. First pitch swinging and going foul off the bat of Zach White.
This is a big moment in the game for the Giants. Down 4-0 now. Got 2 runners on with no outs. You almost think they have to get at least 1 in to stay in this game.
Yeah, Jake, I agree with you. You got to at least plate 1 here to keep yourself in it. 0-1. Presky spins around and throws this one into center field. Orr takes off for third. Or excuse me, Babayev takes off for third. Orr takes off for second. And now 2 runners in scoring position with just 1 out.
Situation gets a lot better for the Giants. Runners don't have to move if they do not want to. And an extra runner in scoring position.
And that opens up the sacrifice opportunity here for Zach White, although he would love to hit safely. 0-1. Pops this one straight up. Foster calling for it. Makes the grab in fair territory. And now 2 gone.
That's not the contact you wanted to see from Zach White there. Got it high enough in the air, however, not nearly deep enough for any runners to think about advancing.
A little interesting how White was able to get under that one. That one pretty low in the zone. And that'll bring up Nate Henley. First pitch to Henley finds the dirt, doesn't find the zone, and it's 1-0. To Henley, fouled back into the fence. 1-1.
Big position for the incoming freshman to find himself in here. Chance to knock in 2 runs and cut the lead in half.
Yeah, certainly a good opportunity for him as well as the Giants. 1-1. Late on that one again. And he looked straight up at it as he knew that that was a really nice pitch that he could have hammered at 70 over the middle part of the plate. 1-2, 2 outs. Big chance here for the Giants as Henley calls time. He'll step back in now.
Big moment for Presky here. He's had a pretty clean resume so far.
Presky delivers. Henley wisely holds up on that one. Count goes even at 2-2. 2-2, 2 outs. Bottom of the 6th. Giants have yet to plate a run here this evening. Henley grounds this one softly in the infield. Going to be a foot race at first. Throw is not in time. Throw down to home. That tag wasn't applied, and it's 4-2.
Great heads-up base running there from Danny Orr. A nice dribbler just gets through for Henley. Babayev easily scores. However, Orr rounding the bases hard, able to get in there, and the lead is cut in half.
As you said, amazing base running by Danny Orr. Gets under the tag of Thomas. And crucially, plates 2 runs. So maybe not be the prettiest way to plate 2 runs, but it got the job done. And now first pitch to Marino in there for strike 1.
I think Henley may have to compliment the thick grass that you mentioned earlier. Got that ball hung up in there. It was a tough play for Thunderbolts' third baseman.
0-1 to Marino. outside part of the plate, 0-2. Marino trying to keep this inning going and keep Preskey working. 0-2, 2 outs. Lofts this one into right field. Under it to make the grab is Walters for the final out of the inning. The Giants do get a response. It's now 4-2 as we step away, heading into the 7th inning under the lights in Gaithersburg. Welcome back to Gaithersburg as the bats started to heat up for the Giants in the bottom of the 6th inning, plating 2. It's now 4-2 in this one as Tseronis gets back on the mound for the Giants. Braden Foster will step up to the plate. Foster 0 for 2. Grounds this one over to Diaz, or has to scramble back to first, but this will be covered by Tseronis. And there was a whole lot on that play to discuss. Orr's instinct drew him to that ball that was headed for the gap, and he had to scramble back, but heads-up play by Tseronis to come over and cover. And I'm not sure if he got the force out with his foot or the glove, but either way, he does get Foster out. First pitch misses to Vance Bonnier. So an unorthodox 4-1 ground out. That pitch on the inside called strike one. One swing and a miss by Bonnier, off speed at 74. Really nice pitch from Tseronis.
Yeah. Big cut there from Bonnier.
1-2. Just loops his way past Bonnier's head. Now 2-2. Bonnier wore one off the helmet last inning. This one fouled back into the fence. 2-2 the count.
It's funny you mentioned that. That ball that came in close to his head didn't flinch once again. Always ready to wear one for his team.
Yeah, it's interesting. Sometimes, you wear one and you think you'll get out of the way of the next one, but Bonnier not under that instinct as he's just able to tap that one foul and stay alive. Two with one away here in the top of the 7th. Swing and a miss from Bonnier. And Tseronis gets his second punch out.
Yeah, that was a great at-bat there from Tseronis. Had Bonnier swinging on 2 of his pitches there. A couple of foul-offs.
That brings up Matt Walters. First pitch to Walters misses high and inside. 1-0 from Tseronis. Check swing. Umpire says he went. Sounded like it also may have clipped the bat, which is the reason for the strike call, as the pitch appeared to be a little high from the zone. 1-1. This one bounces in off the chest of Zach White. 2-1 now the count. Two one, 2 outs for Tseronis. Swing and a miss by Walters.
A lot of swings and misses in these 2 at-bats for Tseronis.
Yeah, that one 84 elevated. Has been working really nice for him here in the top of the 7th. 2-2. This one hit right back up the middle and just gets past the diving glove of Marino. And a 2-out base knock for Matt Walters.
Yeah, excellent effort from Marino there. Just was not able to get his glove behind it. It would have taken a even better throw to even get the out at first base.
And after today's game, I bet Marino's going to wish he was about 6 inches taller. He's been having to dive both ways here in this game and just had a couple ground balls just out of reach for him. First pitch to David Vazzo. Low part of the zone. 0-1 count.
Yeah, you can really see the effort on Marino's jersey. Dirtiest player in the field.
I think that's a title that everyone wants to have at the end of the game. 0-1. Runner goes. Throw down from White. In time. Out is made. And a caught stealing for Zach White. And Tseronis loves that, as the Giants will go back to the bats, and we'll stretch here from Criswell Automotive Field. The score is still 4-2 here in Gaithersburg. Welcome back for the bottom of the 7th inning. David Lewis, happy to be joined with Jake Tseronis, and a new arm on the mound for the T-Bolts, Robert Burke.
Yeah, Burke, freshman from Babson College, a Bethesda Chevy Chase native, had 8 innings in his first collegiate season.
First pitch from Burke finds the zone.
Burke finished with 5 strikeouts, allowing 5 hits as well.
Ryan Maxey pops this one up into shallow center. Left field. Center fielder Puvel looked like he called for it, and he ended up nowhere near that one. So David Vazzo made that play, as we are in that time of the night where it's difficult to see where the ball is just because of the lights. Check swing by Diaz. Umpire says he went 0-1. So Maxey retired for the third time tonight. As we go back to the top of the order, Diaz grounds this one foul, narrowly foul, and he's down 0-2. Misses just low. Now 1-2. Diaz wisely holds up on that one. Now 2-2. Burke, similar speed that we saw from Presky. 2-2. And the home plate umpire looked like he was about to call strike 3. And doesn't, to the dismay of the T-Bolts dugout. It's now a full count.
Looks like he changed his mind mid-stride.
Full count pitch fouled off by Diaz. And yeah, it was interesting hesitation there from the home plate umpire to sort of kind of motion like he was going to do his punch out that he has been all night. Full count. Misses inside and through the legs of Thomas. And Diaz with his third walk of the game.
Everyone's looking for a hit out here, but you cannot complain if you're getting on base 3 out of 4 at-bats.
Yeah, so I mean, right now he's 0 for 1, but Diaz with an on-base percentage of 75 in this game. This pitch gets away from Thomas. Diaz takes down for second, and he's in there safely as the throw got away from the shortstop Vazzo. And now Thomas will call time and meet with his pitcher.
Yeah, Thomas wasn't able to hold on to that one. Diaz hesitated at first, but once he saw the ball was loose, he took off for second base and dove in cleanly.
And I didn't catch that, but I believe for those of us tracking, Brady Ruiz-Weiss did not square to bunt on that pitch, as he's done in every at-bat thus far this game, the first pitch of every at-bat. But now with a runner in scoring position and a 1-0 count, just one away here in the bottom of the 7th. That one misses upstairs. Burke having some trouble. That one coming in at 87. (2-0). Burke delivers. Weiss stares at that one, and now 3-0. And Weiss will probably just keep the bat on his shoulder for this one.
Especially with the runner in scoring position here. Looking for perfection.
(3-0). Takes strike one. Was on the inside part of the plate, so would have been a tough pitch to hit anyway for Weiss.
Burke still with a long way to go.
(3-1). And he'll take ball 4. Weiss hesitated a minute before tossing his bat back over to the dugout, but now it's 2 on, 1 out for Joey Nicholson.
And Nicholson in a great spot here to use his power to drive in at least one run. Getting a little pep talk from his third base coach.
And after a quick flyout of Ryan Maxey to start the inning, back-to-back walks is not what Burke had in mind, and it's not what the T-Bolts had in mind. As last night they were up 6-0 entering the 6th inning on the Aces before the Aces plated all 6 needed to tie. trying to avoid another bullpen blow-up. This one bounced into the chest plate of Steve Thomas, and 1-0 to Nicholson.
You know, the Thunderbolts looking to avoid a end of the game catastrophe. So the Giants look to create one.
1-0. Joey Nicholson lines this one over into foul ground, and it just made its way out of play into the Giants' bullpen. Was tailing away from Walters, and I'm sure Walters wished there was at least 5 more feet of grass there before the fence, and he might have been able to get the second out of the inning. One. Nicholson stays off that one and called strike 2. Nicholson doesn't like it. It was at 72 on that upper outside corner. Now 1-2. Nicholson grounds this one foul down the third base line. Staying alive is Joey Nicholson.
Yeah, Nicholson, I believe, is still looking for his first hit. Last two at-bats have ended in groundouts.
And Nicholson, no stranger to hits, had 72 this past spring at the JUCO level for Gaston College. 1-2. Strike 3 called. It curves right back over the plate. An amazing pitch from Burke. Gets the second out of the inning.
And no hesitation from the umpire on that call.
Yeah, lots of hesitation for Joey Nicholson, but the umpire giving his loud and audible punch out. Babayev now steps back in. Babayev hacks this one foul. Babayev hit by pitch his last time up. Was the first of the 2 runs scored last inning for the Giants. Burke delivers 0-1, misses low. Now 1-1.
That one curved back in again, just a little too low.
Yeah, and Jake, we didn't really talk about this, but Babayev getting hit by that pitch after he was down 0-2 really was the catalyst for those 2 runs.
Yeah, that was a crucial moment.
Swing and a miss by Babayev. Now 1-2.
Babayev in a situation where he would gladly take another hit by pitch. I think it's another situation where you could say the Giants would be very unsatisfied with no runs added to the scoreboard.
Yeah, I would agree. Giants are hungry for more. Pitch to Babayev. Waits on that one just outside. Some of the T-Bolts fielders were ready to head off. 2-2, 2 outs. Runner on first and second. Pitch to Babayev is low and now full count.
Burke is just missing the edge of the zone here on these past 2. But Babayev has fought his way back to a full count now.
Really good at bat. Runners will be moving on the pitch. Full count, 2 outs. Babayev pumps on strike 3, and that will end the 7th inning. The Giants unable to convert their 2 base runners. Score still 4-2 as we head to the 8th inning here on the Giants Broadcast Network. Welcome back on the Giants Broadcast Network. 4-2 as we start the 8th inning. Cody Sharman on the mound for the Giants, the former Seton Hall Pirate, and now a member of the Frostburg State baseball team. But he comes back for his second summer, one of 8 returners on this roster.
Yes, Cody finished up his Frostburg season with 9 innings pitched, gave up 9 hits, 6 runs, and finished with an ERA of 3.86, looking to keep the T-Bolts to 4 runs.
Yeah, and Sharman last year with the Giants saw pretty limited action, but was still pretty effective, a 3 strikeout to walk ratio, and he hopes that that's the case here in the 8th inning. First batter he will face is David Vazzo. Vazzo was at the plate last inning when Matt Walters was caught stealing. First pitch to Vazzo, outside.
A similarity throughout the 2 games in the bullpen is the first few batters for these pitchers can be a little wonky. It's definitely a little tough entering a game, of course, in the start of a new season.
1-0 misses outside, now 2-0. Vazzo slaps this one into right field, and the catch cannot be made by a diving Babayev. Throw will come into second. It's a stand-up double for Vazzo to lead off the 8th inning.
It was tough to tell from where I was sitting, David, but I believe it might have bounced out of his glove or it hit the ground and immediately bounced up into his glove.
Yeah.
Either way, it was a very close play. However, Babayev was not able to make it.
As we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, the fence 350 all the way around, so Babayev playing in a very deep corner and had a lot of ground to cover to try and make that play, and just couldn't hang on to it. Now a runner immediately in scoring position. First pitch to Kim finds the zone. So back-to-back doubles for David Vazzo. Matthew Kim had the second of the inning back-to-back doubles. And he hits this one into left field, and that's down for a base hit. And it'll be that yet again, back-to-back doubles for the 2 at the bottom of the order for the T-Bolts. And it's 5-2 now as Vazzo crosses the plate.
Yeah, almost similar double to 1 at the 2 we saw 2 innings ago down the left field line. T-Bolts, a base runner, able to score easily as Kim trots back to second base with 0 outs in this inning.
And a very productive day for Matthew Kim and David Vazzo. Hitting 8-9 in this lineup have been the main producers. First pitch fouled back into the netting for Griffin Pavel. Pavel 1 for 3, singled his last time up. This one cranked down the left field line, and that stay just goes foul. Tough to tell here from our vantage point, but gonna have to go based off body language, and that one just tailed away foul. Pavel was to the opposite field, which I think was very impressive for him to get a hold of that one. Oh-2 to Pavel. Hits this one softly to Diaz, fields it on the run, flips it to first in time. And Orr will get it safely back to his pitcher, first out of the inning, and a nice play by Diaz.
Yeah. Looks like a simple ground ball, but anything but easy for Diaz. Grass slowed that one up again. A shovel pass gets the out. However, the base runner advances to third.
Yeah, now infield will come in for the Giants. trying to keep it from going back to a 4-run lead for the T-Bolts. First pitch to Gill finds the zone. Oh, 1 to Gill. Bounces in. Nice pick by White.
A great play by White to keep it in front of him. He was able to make a play at home when a ball did get by him. This time, he doesn't even have to think about that.
Yeah, really nice play by White to keep that one right in his glove. 1-1. Tipped back into his glove. This time 1-2. Didn't have to make an acrobatic stop for that one.
Sharman looking for his first punch out of his outing.
See if he can get it here. 1-2 to Tyson Gill. Pitch from Sharman, hit right back at him, off the glove, fielded, thrown over to first, does get the out, but the run does score. Sharman nearly had the play that almost every pitcher dreams of, the almost line out into a double play, had it go off his glove, but a really nice play by Marino at short to be able to pick that one up and still get the out. It's now 2 away, but another 4-run lead here for the T-Bolts.
Yeah, Marino, there was an unfortunate situation where you got to toss the ball to first base. You need that out. However, as you said, it was a fantastic play there. And again, just another time the middle infield has come in to save the Giants here.
First pitch was ball 1. Second pitch misses up high. Now 2-0. Sharman hits the elbow of Herta, and another base runner aboard.
Second time we have seen a Thunderbolt stand still as a rock in the batter's box as a pitch comes towards them.
Yeah, and another free pass issued by the Giants. Now 9 hits for the T-Bolts, but a lot more free base runners across the board. 3 hit by pitch, and I believe 5 or 6 walks now for the Giants pitching staff. This one gets away behind Zach White, and Herta will easily take second base on that one. It's 1-0, and another runner in scoring position. T-Bolts can possibly take their largest lead of the game here with a safe base knock. Almost hits Steve Thomas, gets behind him, and Herta will take off for third, now 90 feet away, and it makes the job that much easier for Steve Thomas.
Yeah, 2 pitches in a row there with 2 advancements on the base path, not what you want to see. And this is going to be a really crucial run, as you said, to make the largest lead of the game if he is able to come in.
Yeah, Sharman looking to settle in. 2-0. Misses outside, and Sharman really would have liked to have that call. Now 3-0. And he thought he had it too, giving a little kind of turn of his head. 3-0. That one misses outside, and it's a 4-pitch walk to Steve Thomas. Runners on the corners for Braden Foster.
Another lackluster bullpen showing for the Giants so far, and I believe we have a mound visit coming here.
Yeah, looks to be pitching coach Vinny Capozza, so no pitching change yet for the Giants. But Cody Sharman having some troubles on the mound. He issued just now the 7th walk of the evening to the T-Bolts, combined with the 3 hit by pitch. That's 10 free bases, including just going to first. It doesn't include what the runners did after that, as the T-Bolts have now plated 6 with 9 hits and those 10 free bases.
And again, we talked about those self-inflicted wounds to start this game, and there's been this, it's just been the same story as Giants game against the Senators here, and Giants have themselves in a tough situation here where they're still not out of it yet. Could very soon have 2 runners in scoring position here.
Braden Foster will step in. 0 for 3 this evening. Reached by a hit by pitch. Fouls this one down the third base line.
Foster has played at 2 different schools before residing where he plays now. Started at the Mount before moving on to Tennessee Tech. Now is at Youngstown State.
Now he's down 0-2. Oh, 2 now to him. Swing and a miss. And Sharman gets his first punch out. T-Bolts add 2 and get their lead back to 4. Giants will have to respond as they have 6 outs remaining to tie or take the lead. We'll step away here on the Giants Broadcast Network. Welcome back on the Giants Broadcast Network. As we go to the bottom of the 8th inning, the T-Bolts up 6-2. And Liam Bowen on the mound for the T-Bolts. And Liam, I know personally from our high school days at Whitman. He is a year younger than me, though, but this is all the more fun for me to be able to commentate him stepping on the mound now. First bat he will face is the bat of Danny Orr, which has been very active here in this one. First pitch from Bowen will bounce in.
Bowen, not too much action at Frostburg this past season. Only 2 innings pitched. Allowed 4 hits and 2 earned runs.
1-0. Fouled off by Orr. Off speed at 71. Had that cutting over the middle of the plate. 1-1. This one drills Danny Orr right in the back. So some control issues for Bowen. Seemingly lost grip of that one as it came in at 67. So some issues going on with the grip there for Bowen to start this one. as Orr's hit by pitch gives him base runner. That'll bring up Zach White. White fouls first pitch off. Bowen used to be a two-way guy in high school. Played center field and pitched. Opted to go the pitching route at Frostburg, where he committed out of high school. 0-1. This one hit hard and through the infield. A base hit for Zach White, and there's two aboard with nobody out.
And a nice solid contact there from Zach White. Finds it right in the middle of the gap, and the Giants find themselves in a promising position in a time they need it most. Still down 4 runs. However, have 2 base runners on with no outs.
And that'll bring up Nate Henley, who had a 2 RBI single his last time up. First pitch to Henley is low. And for those of you that were tuned in for that single, you'll know that it wasn't necessarily the prettiest of singles, didn't make its way out of the infield, but did get the lone 2 runs for the Giants. This one inside, and now it's 2-0.
Yeah, not the hit anyone dreams of. However, no one can complain when you drive in the first 2 runs of the game.
Looking to drive in more here. Danny Orr standing on second. Pitch to Henley. Takes that one as it clipped the inside part of the plate. 2-1. Bowen stares down Orr. Delivers now. This one low and inside. 3-1.
Bowen's been flirting with the inside of the zone there. Only able to find it once so far in this at-bat.
Certainly trying to attack that back leg here of Henley. 3-1 is hacked at, and yet again on that inside part of the plate as the count goes full.
Big pitch here for both teams. The incoming freshman finds himself in another important situation.
As Bowen steps off or slides back in to second. No throw over. Full count to Henley. Pitch on the way. Low. And ball 4 is issued. Full bases are juiced for Aiden Marino after Liam Bowen missed on that full count pitch. And now Brock Hunter will go out and check on his young pitcher. Not grabbing the ball from him yet.
Yeah, another situation where we've seen a pitcher from the bullpen come in and struggle out of the gates. However, yes, the Thunderbolts have confidence in their freshman out of Frostburg. However, he has a hole to dig himself out of now. The Giants in a perfect position here to gain back some, if not all, the runs they need to tie or take the lead in this game.
Yeah, I used to have an engineering class with Bowen, so he's going to have to engineer a way to get out of this jam. Bases loaded, nobody out for Aiden Marino. First pitch to Marino. Bounces in. Thomas keeps that one in front of him. Marino 1 for 3 tonight. And a big opportunity to help his offensive production out. He's been busy at short tonight for the Giants defensively. 1-0. Bounces in again, now 2-0.
Marino, one of the only guys in the Giants roster to have started both games, has shown why he's earned that defensively, and now is an opportunity to show why he's in the lineup offensively.
2-0. That one finds the bottom part of the zone and a nice get for Bowen. Now 2-1. 2-1 finds its way on the inside part of the plate. Now 2-2. Strike 3 called. A pitch with amazing movement. Moves back over the center of the plate. And now Marino will give the pinch hitting Jaden Brown some words of advice. Brown will pinch hit for Ryan Maxey. And then we'll get some defensive subs as well. Jaden Brown, the outfielder, pinch hitting for Ryan Maxey, who is at third base tonight. First pitch to Brown is way inside, gets away from Thomas, but not far enough for Orr to come home. Jaden Brown was 3 for 4 last night with a triple and 2 RBIs with the 2 singles he had. 1-0 to Jaden Brown. Hits this one straight back to center. Under it to make the grab is Pavel. Tagging up is Orr. And White will stay at second. So 1 run scores for the Giants as they bite back here in the bottom of the 8th. Jaden Brown with a sac fly. Now 2 gone.
Not a perfect outcome for the Giants, but the right guy to put in that situation, able to put the ball in play and score a run for the Giants. 3-run lead now the T-Bolts have.
Brings up the top of the order in Freddie Diaz. First pitch to Diaz is outside. 1-0.
Diaz, a man who's looking for his first hit, that has been on base 3 times in this game so far.
That ball goes right back into the netting, now 1-1. And it was interesting, TJ Brockway bringing in the left-handed bat of Jaden Brown when Bowen has seemingly struggled and faced only righties in this inning other than Brown there. 1-1. Finds the outside part of the plate, now 1-2.
I think it was tough to ignore the performance Jaden Brown had last night.
I would agree. Nice way to light up the score sheet in game 1. 1-2. Narrowly misses Diaz. Now 2-2 with 2 outs. Two from Bowen. Bounces in. Thomas again keeping that in front of him as Thomas appears to have lost part of his gear.
That was an early bounce. Thomas had to jump up and get over that ball. Does so successfully.
Yeah, both these catchers defensively tonight. Zach White standing on second base right now, and Steve Thomas fixing his glove for the T-Bolts have both had phenomenal games defensively. But now a full count, 2 outs to Freddie Diaz. They do have a place to put him, but would like to end the inning here for the T-Bolts. Full count. Strike 3 called. Diaz was ready to head down to first, but Bowen reined him in. And the score now 6-3 as the Giants get 1. And we'll go to the top of the 9th as the T-Bolts look to extend here on the Giants Broadcast Network. Welcome back for the ninth inning here from Gaithersburg. And a familiar, lovely face to see on the mound, Aiden Gonzalez, the UMBC retriever, back for a second summer with the Giants. Had a phenomenal summer last year here in Gaithersburg. Was first team All Ripken League last year, where he had a 4-0 record, 1.14 ERA across 23.2 innings pitched, just 5 runs, only 3 of them earned, 25 strikeouts to 9 walks, and a whip at just .887. And I am excited to see him compete here.
Yeah, I think this is a good play from the Giants coaching staff. You're still down 3 runs in the top of the ninth. You need a trustworthy arm to keep it a 3-run deficit here.
And that'll bring up Vance Bonnier, who is 1 for 3, had an RBI sacrifice earlier in the game. First pitch from Gonzalez is in the dirt. And Gonzalez, as you can see, one of the sidewinders of baseball, has a release that's very hard for a lot of hitters to track. Bonnier fouls this one off, and the count will go even at 1-1.
Yeah, you mentioned the difficulty batters have with his release. Gonzalez had 20 strikeouts in his 26 innings pitched for the Golden Retrievers of UMBC last season.
That pitch swung on and missed there by Bonnier. Now 1-2. Gonzalez looking for his first punch out of the 2025 summer. 1-2. Not going to get it there. Count will go to 2-2. And it's very interesting how he finishes on the mound too. He almost finishes with his shoulders squared to home plate. And that one fouled off by Bonnier.
Definitely got to be tough for these right-handed batters as well. The ball starts so inside before coming across over the plate.
And I think that was a great part of his success last year, a great reason for it. This pitch hit hard into center field and caught nicely by Henley out there in center. Been a quiet night for him. Not many balls hit his way, mostly into the corners, but eyes are up and attentive here in the top of the ninth.
Yeah, that one was 91 miles per hour off the bat. I thought it was going to drop at first, but the speed allowed it to carry, making it a routine pop fly for the Giants.
Yeah, carried 271, enough for Henley to make the grab. This pitch low for ball 1 to Matt Walters. Now 1-0 to Walters. Fouled off back into the fence. 1-1 the count. Gonzalez was just so effective. The numbers don't do it justice. And my former colleague Tyler Lochte, not sure if he's tuned in at the moment, but would love to see him pitch yet again. 1-1, swing and a miss there by Walters. Now 1-2. One, two, one out for Gonzalez. Swing and a miss from Walters.
Unlike other bullpen pitchers we've seen come in for both teams in both games the Giants have had this season, Gonzalez looks confident out there, and batters do not even stand a chance hitting the ball. Now 2 outs.
And that'll bring up David Vazzo. Has 2 doubles tonight. Been a big reason why the T-Bolts are up by 3. Swing and a miss there. Had Vazo going into the other batter's box was Gonzalez. And what a pitch to start in that bat. 0-1. That one misses outside. Now 1-1 at 72. Did not even show up on the TrackMan 2D strike zone that we have up here. One. Swing and a miss again. And Vazo can only tilt his head. The hot bat of Vazo against the silky smooth release of Gonzalez. 1-2. Fouled off. Vazo will stay alive.
Vazo with one of the 3 doubles hit for this Thunderbolts team. Not looking as confident up there, facing Gonzalez.
Gonzalez looking for his second punch out now. 1-2, 2 outs here in the top of the 9th. Gonzalez, pitch on the way, misses outside. Count goes to 2-2.
Gonzalez looking for a 1, 2, 3 inning here. And to send the Giants back for a comeback.
2-2. Fouled into the netting, and we'll have to go again. Vazo putting up as much of a fight as he can. Has to put his elbow guard back on. And elects to just toss it aside. Two outs. Gonzalez delivers. This one poked at and foul again. And a souvenir for one of the fans in attendance.
Nice fight from Vazo. Still has a little ways to go, as Gonzalez does not seem to be letting his balls leave the zone.
2-2. Gonzalez. Strike 3 called. 2 punch outs for Aiden Gonzalez. And a welcome back to Gaithersburg for number 15. The Giants will have 3 outs to get at least 3 runs to tie and 4 to walk it off. We'll step away, heading to the bottom of the 9th here on the Giants Broadcast Network. Welcome back for the bottom of the 9th. The Giants looking for a comeback. And if your screens at home may have gotten a little smaller, it's not anything we did with the camera. It's just how big the new pitcher is for the T-Bolts, Brady Grimes from Millersville.
Yeah, Yeah, Brady Grimes stands at 6'7", 245 pounds, from Carlsville, Pennsylvania. Currently plays for Millersville. Doesn't have too many statistics from this past season. However, looking to close the game out for the T-Bolts.
And he will face Brady Powell, pinch hitting for Brady Ruiz-Weiss. Powell fans on the first pitch from Grimes. 0-1. That pitch finds the inside part of the plate. Now 0-2. Powell's down quickly. Powell puts his bat head on this one, gets over to third. Long throw in time. What a throw from Gill at third.
And, yeah, I mean, he received that on the backhand. Still had enough time to get his body weight moving forward. The nice throw over to first base. A good lunge from the first baseman as well. Thunderbolts dugout celebrates before the call is even made.
That was one of the best defensive plays we have seen in this short season. Joey Nicholson now steps in and looks at strike one.
And that is just a tough play for many reasons for the Giants. You go from your first batter getting on base to the first out of the game quickly.
Swing and a miss by Nicholson, who's now quickly down 0-2. And another swing and a miss by Nicholson. He is retired on 3 straight strikes. And now the Giants down to their final out, looking for something miraculous.
It's a nightmare ninth inning for the Giants. Now need 3 runs before getting 1 out to stay alive in this game. And Brady Grimes has just eaten up the Giants' batter so far.
That'll bring up Aaron Babayev. First pitch to Babayev is high, as the music wasn't cut off in time. It's 1-0. 1-0 to Babayev. Watches that one come in. Now 2-0 at 92. So a great mix-up from the T-Bolts bullpen. Bowen was into the mid to low 70s on half of his pitches, as Babayev cranks this one into right center field. That's down for a base hit, and it makes its way to the warning track. Babayev will stroll into second base with a 2-out double. He immediately calls time, and he appears to be all right. I don't know, he was a little slow trotting over to second. Made me worried for a second, but he is okay and stands on second base. And now Danny Orr, who has a double himself tonight, will have a runner on second.
Yeah, that was a nice piece of hitting there from Babayev. Finds the gap directly between the center and right fielder. That was another 91-mile-per-hour pitch. Came off the bat at 89 miles per hour and gives the Giants a little bit of life.
Yeah, and Puvel in center for the T-Bolts almost cut it off before making its way to the warning track. May have kept Babayev to a single, or tips the first one back into Thomas's glove. He's down 0-1. Giants down to their final out. Need 3. 0-1. Orr hits this one into straightaway center, and that's down for a base hit. Babayev being sent around. Orr will stay at first, and now it's a 2-run ball game. And the tying run will step to the plate in Zach White. So an RBI single for Danny Orr keeps the game alive.
Yeah, nice piece of hitting there from Orr as well. He was a great guy to have up in the situations. Had a good game so far. Continues that with an RBI single. And continues the 2-out rally.
Zach White has this pitch go outside. Makes it 1-0. 1-0 gets over the head of Thomas, and Orr will take second.
Yeah, that one seemed to leave the hands of the pitcher a little early. And the Giants will have another runner in scoring position here.
They have to get Zach White to score to keep the game alive. White up 2-0 in his at-bat here. Grimes comes set. Looks down Orr. Delivers now. That one finds the outside part of the zone. Now 2-1.
Zach White singled in his last at-bat. Another one of those may bring the lead down to 1.
2-1. White swings and misses on that one. And now the Giants are down to their final strike.
Yeah. Nice off speed there from Grimes. Something we have not seen a lot in this half inning.
That one coming in at 78 after reaching the 90s earlier. Grimes slowing it down. 2-2, 2 outs. White fouls this one off, and Thomas, who was about to go sprawling to try and catch that one, and now throws a second ball at his pitcher by accident, but Thomas trying to end the game there on a one-man dive.
Thomas was sporadically moving to that ball. Wasn't able to hold on to it, though.
Zach White stays alive. 2-2. Pitch from Grimes. Bounces in. Full count. Full count, 2 outs. The pitch from Grimes. Swing and a miss. And that will end it. Zach White down swinging. And that puts a pin in this one. 6-4 the final. The T-Bolts are victorious here in the Giants' home opener of the 2025 season. The Giants will go down 0-2 now after last night's loss to the Senators. So a tough start for the reigning North Division champs.
Yeah, and then once again, a lot of self-inflicted wounds from the Giants there, and just too little too late for them to be able to come back in this game. They'll have another opportunity tomorrow as they face the Crop Dusters at OBGC, looking to get the first win of the season.
Yeah, you'll be there for that game, and I just want to say thank you guys for tuning in this evening, all 55 of you, as the Giants fall to the T-Bolts 6-4 here from Gaithersburg. We hope you'll tune in for the rest of the games here at Criswell Automotive and the rest of the Giants games this season. So I'm David Lewis. He is Jake Tseronis, and we are signing off here from Gaithersburg. Thank you.